absolutely heartbroken and utterly shocked at what is happening to our people, and what is happening is an ongoing genocide time and time again. The government constantly, and the system that was put in place that was meant to protect and harm, or protect these women from harm, completely fails them time and time again. The police won't do anything, and they say that they can't search because it's not feasible. Is human life not feasible? Time and time again, our Indigenous women and brothers and sisters have to come here, and we have to shout, and we have to raise our voices begging for change and begging for justice for our people. And that is wrong. I should not have to stand here today, and I should not have to come here and be so mad and beg so that you will find and bring our loved ones home.
My mom was Morgan Harris, and she was a great person, and I want her to be remembered as how she was when she was younger and not how she was when she went missing. And I think it's sad that time and time again that we have to keep coming here to gather for sad circumstances like this when our family members go missing, and it shouldn't have to be that way. There were 4 women found, and those women had families. They were mothers, they were cousins, sisters, and they didn't deserve that. And the search isn't done yet because we're still looking. And that's not fair, and I don't think we should give up.
Song for missing and murdered Aboriginal women. This crowd wants to see an end to the violence against women and girls.
I will not be next.
Cambria Harris is just 13, 2 years younger than Tina Fontaine was when her body was pulled from the Red River last month. These girls say Fontaine's death hit them hard.
Like I said, you referenced it in the 2014 article. I said that I don't want to be next, and what I meant by that was I don't want to be another missing and murdered Indigenous woman on a missing persons poster. And year after year, we see hundreds of them scattered across billboards in the city. And nobody blinks an eye. And then when we're found, society just kind of watches, and then they cry and they grieve, and then they forget about us until the next story. And we're not a story, we're people and we're human beings, and that's what the world needs to realize.
There is an injunction with John Doe and Jane Doe, which could apply to anybody. So we're respectfully asking that.
I'll speak to the group. Yeah. I've been speaking for Camp Morgan, the Peace Village. I've been one of the main leaders who helped set this camp up for the families. And we've been here since December 18th. And as far as I know, we're here trying to do a peaceful protest, and to have this road open up because of what Heather Stephenson said, and the way she's gone about it, and now this is what she's doing. I would like to see her resign. I'd like to see her step down.
There's nothing. There'll be another blockade. We'll blockade railways, we'll blockade highways. We'll do whatever we have to do to keep this in the news, to keep this cause alive. This is bigger than just us here.
Remains the camp. We're protecting the camp, and we will defend the camp at all means necessary to our last breath, because it is sacred law, it is the sacred ground, and it is sacred for our ancestors and for all of us to be.
I have no interest in disturbing the camp.
Yes.
Wild that today, of all days, on September 18th, the International Day of Action, the Minister of Indigenous Relations decided that it was a good idea to have a meeting with my family and I on today, of all days. And he thought it was a good idea to re-traumatize us by saying, well, I still have more questions about the feasibility study. Why are all levels of government beating around the bush and pointing fingers back and forth amongst each other because they can't figure out how to search the landfill amongst themselves? We figured it out. We've done the feasibility study. We have proven, more than proven, not only our worth, but proven that my mother is more than worth searching for, and that it is absolutely feasible.
Thing that I wanted to say today, because I feel like we've been talking about this landfill search for months, and we've had meeting after meeting after meeting, and we've talked about what we want, what is needed. The families have talked about what they wanted, what they needed, and we're just done talking about it. For the time being, we have to make our voices loud and heard, and we have to show them that we can make change in this country whether or not they like it.
They don't want to search the landfill. We will. You will hand us the shovel. You will hand us those hazmat suits, and we will train ourselves if you will not retrieve our woman, because I am sick of words of affirmation.
We all wanted to give up. We knew we couldn't. You know, Morgan deserves that. She needs to come home.
Yesterday, on exactly the 2-year anniversary of that, we returned to the site with both the Harris and the Morin families, and we stood with them in ceremony. And this morning, I was there with 2 family members as we watched that first blue truck of landfill material come down to the search facility. And it is an intense emotion that you feel standing on that site with those families. And I just want to say on behalf of the people of Manitoba that we are making this effort to find your loved ones. And I hope that you know that you are loved and valued, and that Morgan and Mercedes are loved and valued.
I remember when this all started, it was very, very hard on me. I remember I was dropping out of school and I didn't see myself making it too far in life after I found out about my mom, because I just turned 18. I just became an adult without my mother. And yesterday, all I could think about is I want my mom. No one should go through any type of heartbreak without their mom. Yesterday, when I left the landfill, I felt like I was abandoning her again. I felt like I was leaving her. No family, no person should go through what we went through. And again, to every one of you that said no, to every one of you that didn't believe in us, do better. Do better. How could you? How can you say no to somebody's little girl? That's my mom in there.
Talked to the media and I pleaded for help, and the fact that we needed to find out where my mother's remains were, and that I wanted her to be remembered for who she was and not how she died. Well, I was really angry for a long time. I won't lie, I wasn't the greatest kid either, you know. I got expelled from my high school. I was always in fights. I hung out in some of the wrong crowds. You know, I got sick of running away from my problems, and I started facing them head on and walking right through them and conquering it. And I think that's been the hardest thing to do. And I guess a big part of it has been the fact that I haven't been able to grieve properly. You know, my mom's sitting quite literally in the landfill underneath lots of debris and trash right now, as well as one other woman. And so, while I was super angry in the beginning, I turned my grief and my anger into something beautiful, and that was Camp Morgan and the fight for justice to continue to find these women and bring them home. This landfill is essentially a giant burial site and an unmarked grave at that.